Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Angela, and in today's video I will be critiquing the resume that got me my investment banking offer. This is the resume that I used from my sophomore to my junior year to apply for investment banking internships. If you're interested, I did a separate resume review series where I reviewed resumes that you guys sent me. I will link those videos down in my description box below if you're interested. But in today's video, I will be going through the same process with my resume. Okay, so upon first glance, my resume is very packed. I had pretty thin margins throughout. So one thing that I would add to my resume is a little bit more about my semester abroad, which was in Prague. I'd probably at least add a date on there. Because so many people's resumes are similar, it really mattered when I had something even slightly unique about my resume, such as traveling abroad to Prague for an entire semester. In over half of my interviews, the interviewer actually asked me about the study abroad experience and where I traveled. So looking back, I would definitely want to make this a little bit more prominent, maybe we even move it up a line as well. So for this resume, I actually updated it after my sophomore summer internship, so it includes my summer internship at a boutique investment bank. In retrospect, because I was applying to all investment banking internships, I definitely should have expanded on my investment banking summer analyst role and written less for some of my other roles down below. Because some of my roles that I did in freshman year and even in high school are just not related. They're a lot more marketing and business development focused, whereas I should have gone more in detail on my investment banking one to show them that I had relevant experience. A lot of people, after having investment banking experience, they do have this section of their resume called transaction experience, which I now have for my full-time resume, but when I finished this internship, I didn't have that. You can put it on or you don't have to. If you put it on and you really emphasize your experience, all of your interview questions are going to be focused on investment banking. So you should only really put it on if you're going to be super familiar with what you did in your investment banking role. But otherwise, I would leave it off. Also, for my freshman summer internship, it was at a startup. And I wrote that my role was a research analyst, but in retrospect, they didn't really give me a title. I was just the intern and I wore all hats and I did everything. So I could have given myself a much more relevant title, for example, business development analyst or something of that sort, rather than just research analyst. And for my high school experience, the titling again is also a little bit odd. I called myself an executive manager, technology and marketing intern. This is because I didn't really know what to call myself. In addition to that, I also should have made my bullets a lot more results focused. I tried to include numbers here and there. For example, for my research analyst role, I wrote develop price strategies, assess potential target markets, and analyze educational technology industry trends. But I should have wrote what that resulted in. Did it result in more partnerships for the company? Did it result in a new business and pricing strategy? Not only do you have to talk about what you did, but you should talk about the result of it. And lastly, when I look at my skills, languages, and interests, in my skills section, I had a lot of things that just weren't relevant to the job I was applying for. And a lot of them are softwares that no one would really know unless they were in that field. Like Hootsuite, for example, was something that I used during a marketing internship. And people in investment banking don't know and wouldn't care even if I knew about the software. So within skills, I should have included things that I felt were more relevant to the role. And lastly, for my interest section, I wrote a hodgepodge of a lot of different kinds of interests, but none of them really stand out or are very specific. In retrospect, I should have written something like explore restaurants, parentheses, Yup Elite member, or something of that sort to just spice up the intersection, because this is just one line of your resume, but it definitely is one of the most important lines on it because it's again what sets you apart from other applicants. During my sophomore year when I began applying for internships, I actually redid my entire resume from scratch. I ditched my old format. It's totally different now. If you want to use a similar format to the one that I'm using, you can check out this website called Beam Jobs. It makes it super easy to create a professional resume. So here I am on the website. I'm going to click create my resume now, and it's going to show a range of different types of resumes. So the format that I'm using currently is called professional, and it says it's best for jobs that require formal resumes. I find that this resume template is the safest, but if you're not applying for a role that requires a super formal resume, like a role in finance, then you should look at some of the other resumes that are provided here. For example, if you're applying for a creative role, then you might need a more creative and interesting looking resume. But for me, I use professional. So you can use this template and then you can choose an industry example, upload an existing resume, import your LinkedIn profile, or start with a blank document. I'm going to try to choose an industry example, and here I am going to type in investment banking. Perfect. So there are 5 resumes here for investment banking. This investment banking associate one is my exact template that I use. So you can click view resume here and you can use this resume. And of course, you can create this all by yourself from scratch on Microsoft Word, but it's much easier if you want to just quickly do it on this website. Takes like 10 minutes to do. So here it is all written out. You can rearrange the sections, move things around. You can move education up if you want to, change up the page margins. You can remove the spacing, change the font. I use Garamond for my font. There are a bunch here that you can use, and then you can actually change the content of it. So for example, if I want to write the date that I started, maybe I can write May 2005 to June 2007. And then these are the lines of your resume. You can edit these, continue until you're done. And then go back to the download page and you can download this resume and edit it however you want. If you're interested in this super easy to use resume builder, check out Beam Jobs. I have a link to it in my description box below, so click there to access it. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you want things like full access to my resume, one-on-one guidance from me, you should go and check out my Patreon at patreon.com/AngelaSunX3 because I offer all of those things on there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It helps me out a ton. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!